site that's multifamily and you're thinking that's exactly what you can actually get done on that site because the zoning already said so, but you actually do not have the approvals and entitlements, you don't have the site plan to prove it yet, but this is what the county and the city already told you. So you're thinking in your head you can actually do it. Well, let me explain exactly how this actually is going to work because I've already done that. So let me explain on one property that we're building right now. This is our third butterfly roof home. If you ever want to check it out, you can. It's the other two that we already sold, 720 West 14th Avenue. Actually, 720 and 716 West 14th Street in Lakeland, Florida. They're the first butterfly roof homes that's done that I know of in America, and we killed it. It looks fantastic, and they look like this right here. So let me explain though exactly how this process works. So there used to be one house right here on lot 13, and we converted this one parcel into 3 separate lots with 3 separate addresses and 3 separate parcel ID numbers. There is a process to get this done, right? And the city is not going to walk you through it. You actually have to know what to do through experience and a lot of trial and error, and hopefully you don't learn the hard way, kind of like I did, or you can hire certain individuals to help you out. So let me explain to you how this is actually going to work. What happens is you have a site, right? Let's say this is a multifamily site, and in your head you're thinking that you can actually do a multifamily unit by zoning, by right, what they call Euclidean zoning. You can get that completed technically, but you still have to make sure, and you have to coordinate a couple things. One, again, remember power. So how are you going to get the power? How are you going to tie into utilities? That means wastewater connection, water connection, right? How are you tying into these things, right? Then you have to confirm, is there going to be, if you have a structure on the site, then you're going to have to actually pull a demo permit. Now, here's what I recommend. Do not forget letting them know that you're demoing a property and you have to get the demo permit. Why? Because you are not supposed to pay impact fees on that particular lot. For example, there was a house, I think it was, lot 13. You can't really even see it, but there was a house here. If we did not tell them, because they're not going to let you know this, but there's a structure here and we had to pull a demo permit. They almost charged us $23,000 on impact fees because we did not share it with, I forgot, because it's 2 separate departments. You have to let them know, hey, we're demoing this property and here's the demo permit. We're not charged impact fees, okay? That's gonna save you a ton of money. That should save you whatever your impact fees in your city and your county is. Every single one is completely different. Now, for the rezoning, you're gonna have to, this was cottage lots, right? That's a special kind of zoning. So you're gonna have to get what they call a site plan, and you're gonna have to show the setbacks that the county wants to see before they give you the approval to build. So even if this was a multifamily unit, you're gonna have to have setbacks. That means 5 feet off of the lot lines that they're allowing you to have. Remember, they're allowing you. This is not, even though you may have it by right, but if you do not have the proper setbacks, that means you have a lot and then you have setbacks on the front of the lot, the sides of the lot, and the rear of the lot. That means that your home or your multifamily structure, whatever, has to go within that structure, right? So our setbacks, I think, were 5 feet on the sides, 15 in the rear, and 15 in the front. So that means we had to have a 2-story structure because on this particular lot, we only had a 40 by 60 lot size, right? So that's why we had to get that completed. Now, there's other ways as well to decrease your impact fees, which that's basically, you could see in your county or your city if they have what they call the Affordable Housing Incentive Developer Program. I know it's a long thing, but anyway, you filled out this form, you make sure they have it, you confirm that they got it, and then you should be able to get a pretty big reduction in your impact fees, typically like 50%. But that's a huge amount, okay, period. So the biggest thing is, what I learned was I could not assume just because by right I could actually get it rezoned and build what I want, which is butterfly roof homes, which now we're doing the third. I actually had to follow the guidelines, which is first, yes, hey, by right, I could do this. Then I actually have to get a site plan done, right? You typically want to work with, what I always look at it as like, you want to work with an experienced developer and even get him a percentage of the deal if you have to, because it's very time consuming, and you're going to have to work with a civil engineer at the same time to work with the architect, right? Civil engineer or land planner is going to, or typically the way the chain of command works is you've got the owner and developer are a team, right? Typically some kind of joint venture, right? Owner may have the property and the money, the developer has the vision and know how to get the shit done fast, right? And so then you've got below that pyramid, you've got civil engineer and architect that are working together to get the site plan complete and all the paperwork done with the city to get this approved, right? To get what you want approved. This takes time. If you rush it, I mean, in the sense of like you really go fast, it could probably take a couple weeks, sometimes months, sometimes longer. It all matters how complicated the site is. So what they do is they work together, civil engineer and architect, they fill out all the paperwork, boom, they get it approved. At the same time too, the developer is working also with the GC or is the GC or working with the GC. And then he's saying, hey, I need to start doing a takeoff list, because the architect knows, because they've already had meetings, hey, they're going to approve this site. Let's do a takeoff list, see what's the material and labor going to charge us on this site so we can make sure it's actually going to be profitable, or do we have to wait this out, or how do we work it out to get our materials and labor to a reasonable cost with the speed that we need to get this done, because the comps are good right now to get this property out there. Is this making sense? Hopefully this is. If it's not, I'm really working on improving big time. Okay, so the biggest takeaway is this: just because you have a zoning for multifamily or single family does not mean you're going to get it. You still have to go through the process of getting what they call a site approval. That basically means I have a shovel-ready, approved and entitled site. Not just because, hey, I have a piece of land and the zoning is that. That's great. That's not a bad thing. That means they're going to work with you on getting it done, but you still have to confirm, hey, where am I getting my water at? Where am I tying in wastewater at? Where am I getting the electricity? Do they have enough electricity? Is it infill or not? Do we have to put septic tanks? What's the setbacks of the structure? What is the buildable square footage of the land? What is the actual buildable square footage of that? How many, is it 50 by 100? What's the actual buildable square footage? That is what matters, period. It's not just because it's zoned that way. It's actually got to meet all the qualifications for that. A lot of people, what I have found is individual, and I did this myself. I'm like, oh, well, it's zoned multifamily. I can put whatever I want. No, it sounds good on paper, but it doesn't. So here's some key takeaways. Remember, just because it says that doesn't mean you're going to get it. You still have to get through the approval of a structure. Now, the other thing is too, remember, if you're demoing a property, make sure you're letting them know so you can they do not charge you for your impact fees if you're demoing, but you have to show them the demo permit. And you have to go through the proper channels. You have to, if there's a property there and it's tied into electric, you got to call the electric company, get them to tie it off. If there's wastewater, you got to call them, tie it off. There's certain parameters that has to happen to get the demo done the right way. Ask me how I know that, right? So hopefully this helps. This is the entire process of what I've learned from taking one house to 3 houses. This took about 2 months to get it done. And I actually did the entire process because I wanted to learn it myself. So I was technically the land planner and the developer and the GC at the same time. But to me, this is like fascinating because I'm building, I'm just like building art. So it's cool to me, I'm a art fanatic, just like that statue behind me. That's a Frank Lloyd Wright statue. If you don't know who Frank Lloyd Wright is, look him up. Way in front of his time, I would just say that. Like his structures, if you ever want to check them out, they were built in the 1890s and 1900s, and they look like they were built yesterday. They're beautiful. Anyway, hopefully you got a lot out of this. If you probably want me to work with you on any kind of structures, go to the website, truedevelopers.com. We put an application on there, fill it out, put all the information pertaining to your property. If I could work with you, I will. I've got a full plate, but at the same time too, I love doing this stuff. And if I could help you gain more profitability out of your site, 100%, awesome. And if I can, I can. But I'll do my best to get back to you. And if you get anything out of this video, do leave me a comment below, like, share it, and you know, share this with somebody that possibly has a property that they could do that. And it's the same thing if you want to take a garage and make it an ADU or make it a rental unit. It doesn't change either. You have to go through certain steps. The only thing is a lot of people don't know the steps. So, all right, hopefully these videos help, because I just don't want you to go broke. Like, I'm not gonna say I went broke, but I do understand how it feels to meal prep your meals for a month in advance, because you don't know if you're gonna have enough money for food because you put everything towards development. Anyway, all right, bye.